Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner, and boy, do we have something going on in the studio today. I'm joined by Wade Johnson, the Director of Bands at Benedict College. How are you?
I am fantabulous, Ms. Turner. Thank you for having me. Shout out to all the Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina. How are you? Home of the BCBOD. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into it now.
Okay.
You are quite the personality. You have so much experience when it comes to music. This is something that is truly a love for you.
Yes, it is.
Why?
It's a passion because I believe getting started as a late bloomer, I actually believe that is a calling. And when I say my passion, my ministry is what I was called to do because I wanted to do something else. I wanted to be a professional football player, of course. All men in small towns from McClellanville, South Carolina, wanted to be professional athletes. But anywho, due to an injury, trying to play football, and whoop whoop, I saw the band. The band got in the game tree. The band were having a good time. They were eating, and I was like, I think I can do that. And guess what? I didn't have to pay to go in anymore after I joined the band. So basically, that's how it all started. And from then, our beloved band director, Mr. Lionel Mackey Thomas, he came in somewhere around 72, and I was a senior at 74. So being hurt, wanted to get in the game tree. I was one of the last people to join the band program at Lincoln High School. Shout out Lincoln High School. And I started on trombone.
Okay.
And then eventually one of my family members, Drexel Ball, who had a trumpet. His mother bought him a trumpet where I was living at in McClellanville on Society Road. He had asthma, so he wouldn't play the trumpet. So what I started doing, I started going upstairs, got it up the case and experimented with it. And then aha moment. An aha moment happened. Mr. Thomas, I took it to him and he said, you know what, I can teach you really how to do this. And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yes. Yes.
And you have so many memories over the years.
So many memories over the years. Music I've been blessed because music has not only taken me around the world with several experiences, I've had the experience to perform with some of the greats, namely Dizzy Gillespie, namely James Brown, Fred Wesley and the New JBs, and every now and then Fred still calls me to perform with him. Yes, Fred, if you look up Fred Wesley was, I have to say, one of the greatest funk trombone player, but he was also a fabulous jazz trombonist also. Fred is still performing around the world.
Now,
Yes.
okay, we need to talk about a very specific way that you can perform that not everybody can do. You can actually play two instruments at the same time.
Oh, yes, Frank Motley from Dizzy Gillespie's band. The precursor was this, Joey Morant, the late Joey Morant from Charleston, South Carolina. He had a trumpet that had two bells on it, but one lead pipe. And when I saw him as a kid doing that, I was like, oh my God. I didn't know that was just one horn. So moving forward to late 70s, early 80s, I got to meet Mr. Gillespie and saw his big band. Frank Motley was one of his trumpet players on his big band. Frank Motley actually did it with two trumpets. And I lost my mind. I walked up to him, Mr. Motley, that was awesome. He said, son, you want to learn how to do this? And I almost had a heart attack, but still, with Mr. Motley, I said, yes, sir. Small town country boy. I said, that would be something great to learn how to do. So he sat me down. He told me the logistics behind it. And scientifically, guys, the only way to do this, there are about 3 of us in the country, in the world, that can do it. But you have to use both sides of your brain simultaneously.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This segment is brought to you by Wing Zone. Well, good morning and thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner and today we are in Loris. I'm joined by Bernard, the owner of Wing Zone. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic.
Okay, so you're born and raised right here in Loris and you opened up this restaurant because this is a place for all the people in your hometown to hang out.
Yes.
Walk me through the whole process from start to here we are today.
The concept came from Barry Suggs and we kind of travel around looking for locations because we wanted to start a business, a franchise in the city of Loris, where we're both from. Wing Zone was the perfect match for the city, and we brought it here.
So you guys obviously have wings.
Yes, we have wings, we have chicken sandwiches, we have excellent burgers,
Yeah.
and we have chicken tenders also.
And some very good desserts.
Yes, we have funnel cake fries. We also have Oreo churros, very delicious desserts.
So one thing that I love about you guys is that you have a ton of different sauce choices. What are some of the fan favorites?
Like I said, we have 18 different flavors. The fan flavors being honey barbecue, we have a Thai chili, a buffalo bliss, and a garlic palm, and our dry rubs, which is our lemon pepper, our cool ranch, and our black and voodoo. The customers seem to love that. Those were.
Love that. Okay, so what has been the response from the community so far since opening this place?
We've got great response from the community. They represented well, came out and supported us each and every night. We get great compliments from everybody.
And something unique that you guys have here at Wing Zone is your beer. What is it called? A beer bar?
It's a beer wall.
A beer wall.
Beer wall is the first in the franchise that we got. It's kind of state-of-the-art beer wall. It's kind of one of the state-of-the-art. So the patrons can actually serve themselves with us monitoring them. And it kind of gives them that more personal experience, getting their own beer.
This segment is brought to you by Wing Zone. Well, thanks once again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner and I'm wearing pink for a reason today. I'm joined in studio by Michelle Apple. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, so you are the founder of the ABC Warrior Foundation. What does that stand for?
The Apple Breast Cancer Warrior Foundation.
All right, so tell me your story.
So I'm actually, this week is kind of ironic, I'm a 5-year breast cancer survivor. So I made it to 5 years, which is a huge milestone for many breast cancer patients. So when I got my diagnosis, I always knew I wanted to do more. I didn't want to be defined by breast cancer, but I've seen so many financially having a hard time with the financial bills in addition to advocating and educating. So during my journey, I decided to start a foundation, a 501c, to help other breast cancer patients as they're going through this long journey, because it's emotional, it's financial. And so I decided to start the foundation under those things so that we could help them.
It's got to be surreal going from being the patient to being able to really pay it forward to people.
Absolutely, and I wanted to advocate because in the beginning my diagnosis was missed, so I had a very small lump under my armpit, and I think it's good for the viewers to know that I just got a standard mammogram, and unfortunately they missed it, and I should have had an ultrasound.
Wow.
And that's the other reason to advocate for the foundation, right? I want to educate and tell folks. Not that you have a crystal ball that it could stop it, but maybe we could have caught it earlier. We know with breast cancer, early detection and treatments are huge.
Huge.
So with that, after my mom got diagnosed with bile duct cancer, I then took care of myself. She passed away. We were taking care of her, and I got shingles, and it grew actually on my breast. And I thought, well, you know, I should get this checked out. So after she passed, I did, and that's when I found out I was stage 3. It has metastatized into 23 lymph nodes, full mastectomy, 6 months chemo, 3 months radiation, and then just recently I had my ovaries removed, and then continued medication. So many cancer patients don't get to ring the bell. So many of those I want to advocate and help and do the comfort bags that we're going to talk about at the next summit to kind of bring a smile to their face.
Now, for people that want to stay updated with you and help out throughout the year, I mean, you have so many things planned on the calendar. How can they stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's www.applebcwarrior.com, or they can certainly email me at michelleapple71@iCloud as well.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Great to be here with you today and share something that is very important to us, and that's Project Golf. I'm Gary Shaw, and I want to share with you some enthusiasm I've got for the program since I was here with it when it started in 2018. We were a nonprofit given birth by our parent company, Golf Tourism Solutions, which has been driving golf in Myrtle Beach for 5 or 6 decades. And they looked up a couple years ago and said, we are bringing a lot of people into Myrtle Beach. We call ourselves the golf capital of the world. From the Rust Belt all the way up into New England, out west, people are coming to Myrtle Beach. But they said, just a minute, we've kind of ignored this exploding metropolis of Myrtle Beach of residents, locals. So they said, why don't we let's find somebody that can run this nonprofit. We want to bring the game to our disabled veterans, our underserved youth, and the beginners. So we'll grow the game, and we'll take the game to these golfers. We'll try to remove barriers that are in the way of their playing, and the biggest one was access and instruction. So we started with our beginners, and then we morphed into working with a disabled veteran under a program subsidized by the PGA of America called PGA Hope. HOPE is an acronym standing for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. I was asked to start it up because I somewhat fit the mold. I'm a veteran and a PGA member, and I served as the PGA's president for a term back in the 90s. So we got started off, and we found out the VA was very cooperative. They were pipelining all the veterans to us, and in no time at all, our classes became full. We can teach about 20, 22 veterans at a time, men and women, all with disabilities, some passive, some very visible. And we feel like we're doing some good, and we're getting these veterans back into society, and they're doing a good job of engaging with other veterans to play golf. And we're finding the same thing with the beginners. And we haven't quite developed a full-fledged junior program, but we know that's going to be the case, where we'll remove barriers to their getting into the game. And the PGA told us when we started PGA Hope, if you're anything like the other chapters around the country, you're going to save lives. And I thought to myself, as the executive director, that's a bit of a stretch. How do you save lives through golf? And after these 5 years now, Angel and I will agree that we are saving lives. We hear it from the veterans, we hear it from the veteran spouse, and we hear it from the veteran's family. So it's a great program. They're telling us how much at the end of the classes when they graduate after 6 weeks, what value it has to them, and that value is engagement with family and community. So we feel real good about it. And I would throw in on the statistics and metrics from the PGA of America is that there are about 160 chapters in the country, and the Carolinas leads the country in registrations and graduations, and Myrtle Beach leads the Carolinas. So we're real happy about the visibility we've received. And as a nonprofit, of course, our goal is to seek funding. So that's our next real initiative, is to turn up the heat on getting donations.
So as Gary was saying, the impact that we're making on our community is huge. We're creating a community of golfers, and our golfers are overcoming obstacles, improving their social, mental, and physical well-being. You know, with 22 veterans committing suicide each day, golf has changed their life, and in some cases, it's saved their lives. You know, some of them struggle 7 days a week, but for those 2 hours a day, they're coming out here and they're not thinking about those struggles. and because we're helping them with their abilities and they're forgetting about their disabilities. And so if you guys would like to help us, please visit us at projectgolf.org and learn a little bit more about what we do and how you can support.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.